Been a day of expose versus expose. If it was a sting operation on the part of the BJP on the Liquorgate, it's a live stream video that AAP posted to show the condition of schools run by the MCD, which is controlled by the BJP. So the fight over Delhi schools have also escalated. The Delhi Commission for Child Rights Protection has now issued a notice to MCD asking for an explanation for the poor condition of schools. These are pictures posted by AAP leaders of MCD schools. So it's clearly an our schools versus your schools kind of a rhetoric that is going on. Should education really become a political football? That's the question we are asking. Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights has already issued a notice to the MCD to answer for the kind of performance and the teaching learning parameters that have revealed poor conditions in the MCD-run schools. The notice comes after 3 AAP MLAs, Saurav Bharadwaj, Durgesh Pathak and Dilip Pandey, visited an MCD school on Saturday and highlighted the prevailing conditions by live streaming their visit on social media. The visit of the MLAs was followed by a statement issued by the MCD, who termed the AAP visit as an intrusion. So what does the Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights notice say? Let's put that out for our viewers. It seeks an inquiry into the MCD schools under Section 13 of the Commission for the Protection of Child Rights. What it does is it says that the findings actually paint a rather dismal picture of the prevailing conditions. Also, it talks about how that pertains to violation of child rights. The notice further says the findings of the NAS, National Achievement Survey, is a direct commentary on the quality of teaching and learning in municipal schools, and that is an unacceptable picture that it has received, asking for an explanation. Remember, NAS has ranked Delhi amongst the lowest 5 performing states in India. In fact, the third standard results of Municipal Corporation of Delhi is below the national average in all major subjects of language, maths and environmental studies. So this is insofar as the notice to the MCD is concerned. But what we are looking at clearly is school education, children's education being made a political football. It's expose versus expose, with each side busy showing the lapses committed by the other, instead of course, working towards a common goal of improving the quality of education. Let me welcome joining us here on the program, Mr. Furqan Qamar, who is a former advisor of the Planning Commission of India. Hoping to be joined by, Mr. Vinit Goenka is also with us, BJP spokesperson, and Akashdeep Muni, political analyst, with us. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining us here on Mirror Now. I want to begin by asking you, Mr. Akashdeep, the fact is that here you have leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, the ruling party in Delhi, going around showing the condition of schools in Delhi. Now, you know, for a common man who may not be absolutely aware who handles what, it's actually showing a rather poor picture of the level of education in Delhi. Shouldn't the two sides be actually working together? What we see here is a one-upmanship. Are you?
No, definitely.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Definitely, I totally agree, 100% that the MCD and the government of Delhi should sit together and take cues from each other rather than making political statements. But there is one thing which is very, very positive, that our TV debates have shifted from the regular rhetoric to specifics of education. And as an educationist and a professor, it's the best thing that is happening. You know, the condition of schools in this country has been always poor. There was no, just imagine these schools where 4 classes are studying under one roof. You know, if some organizations like NAC, which is the National Accreditation Organization, or NRF, would have gone there, they would have stopped academic activity altogether because of lack of education. Because in one class, as an educator, I must say that education cannot be imparted. So very nice that political focus has shifted to education. Yes, there are problems, some problems in Delhi schools as well, where more improvement is needed. Very good. Tell the government of Delhi that this improvement is needed. But the schools, MCD schools, are in shambles, and the nation should know that that there are electric switches inside the inside the classes. There is tin sheds. There is no air condition, and in comparison to Delhi schools, they are totally dangerous for students. So it is a welcome move. I think MCD should take cues from the Delhi government in improving the condition of common student of Delhi. And
We
the
don't have
focus
a
should be
problem with that,
education.
sir. We do not have a problem with any one side talking about the quality of education or the standard of schools. The problem starts when the blame game begins, because then it appears that you're only doing it for the purpose of petty politics, for politicking, not just in the interest of the students, not at all in the interest of the students from what I can see. Do you agree, Mr. Vinit Goenka?
Absolutely. Ram Ram to you and to everybody who's watching this show. And good you have brought this topic up, and I congratulate you and your channel for bringing this up.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to bring your attention to the date 11th December 2020, just 19 months back. There were 3 mayors of MCD along with dozens of elected corporators of councillors of Delhi who sat outside house of CM Kejriwal demanding him to release the funds which was due from Delhi government to MCD. And what was these funds? These funds were 13,000 crore rupees pending. I'm repeating the date, 11th December 2020. 13,000 crore rupees was pending, and there was a dharna agitation for days which was going on. While CM Arvind Kejriwal was busy repairing his swimming pool with a budget of 9 crore rupees, he denied to give this money. While I'm talking to you today, 457 crore rupees is pending with Revenue Department, which is purely transfer fees, which is actually money of Municipal Corporation of Delhi pending with them. The letters are there and they have divided to give it. Another third quote is 3,488 crore rupees is due in year 2021 to 2022 pending. Manish Sisodia has given a promise that he will release the funds, but funds have not come. Now, madam, you would agree that they have choked the funds of MCD. They make sure that the salaries are not released. They make sure that minimum establishment cost is also not been met.
Okay, what you're saying is very serious, Mr. Goenka, because what you're saying is that there is a conspiracy
I'm sure
by the Delhi government, first to choke the funds and then take the cameras and show the condition of the schools. That's what you're saying.
No, not. So you're a very nice anchor in the channel, is good. So I'm trying to put some facts and figures in front of the audience here.
Okay.
13,000 crore rupees is not a small amount. And it is true that 20 days, your cameras, Mirror Now's cameras were standing outside his house when he was building a swimming pool of 10 crore rupees. Today, when I'm talking to you, transfer fee has not been given. Now, what can you do? And let me put one point which every channel very conveniently avoids, and I'm sure you will not avoid, is your reference to 1st February 2019. Now, remember the date, 1st February 2019, Times of India, your own newspaper. It talked about 1,55,436 students failed in Delhi government school. Only 52,582 were readmitted. 1,02,854 students were pushed out of the education system of Delhi government. Who will take them? MCD has to take them, because we don't create false statistics just for the sake of showing it to the world. We want to really give education. So they were given that admission. Now, where there was a capacity of 2 or 3 child, if the capacity has been pushed to 10 or 12, what will you do? The pressure will come on the infrastructure. Now, I'm not talking about that. But the question is, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar said, educate so that they are enabled. Here, they are forcing them to become a dropout. And parallelly, this all...
So all of this you are saying is AAP conspiracy.
They want us to go away from the main
None
question.
of it is MCD responsibility. Everything AAP has conspired. What you're saying is a very strong argument you're making here, Mr. Vinit Goenka. You're making a very strong argument that absolves MCD completely of any responsibility for the state of schools, puts the entire onus on AAP for choking funds. No. Let's not get into that. Let's first have Akashdeep quick response, sir. Quick
let's
response.
talk about the funds which are due to MCD.
Afrida ji, I just want to comment with these points. My friend was speaking and I heard, and yes, definitely my friend is a politician and he will be speaking the same to you. But I am an educationist. I know the condition of education in this country. In one class, if 4 class students are sitting and there are teachers teaching them, and then the administrators come out that these are the problems, that is the problems, this shows the credibility of administrators. And trust me, had it been a private university or private college, the HOD or the administrator would have been thrown out of job Just
But let me
minute
tell
while
you,
we are
Mr.
talking today.
Akashdeep,
1
it's
minute.
not just MCD schools. There are also, you have schools run by the Delhi government. Just recently, I think a couple of weeks back, we reported an incident where a fan fell on a student. The student, it injured two students. You know, so the infrastructure-wise, the mishaps have happened in, you know, in the AAP run, in the state government, AAP government run schools as well. Delhi government run schools as well. Though I know that there is so much made out of the Delhi model of education, these incidents have happened. There was also a case
Afrida,
of a trespasser. So in terms of administration, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of teaching learning standards, a lot to be desired. I want to bring in a neutral observer, Mr. Furqan Qamar. Please come into the conversation. Give us an idea of where we stand really. Because when we hear the political parties, it seems it's all bad. The MCD schools are in shambles and so are the Delhi government schools. A very nice cosmetic picture is presented. But within, we see a lot of skeletons coming out from time to time.
Thank you. Thank you very much for asking me to be in your program.
Thank you, sir.
I think this is a great misery of our time. And in this country, that education has not been the priority of the governments, the priority of the government across different political parties. I would agree with Akash that, okay, even though there was a blame game and different parties were blaming to each other, it has some silver lining that it brought in education into the mainstream agenda of the discussion. And I hope and I wish that this discussion will bring about some fruit. I think education will have to be a priority. Education will need to be given adequate funds. I think it's not only a question of Delhi, it's a question of the all India situation. Education is about dealing with the future of students. Every passing day, every passing minutes, we are spoiling and playing with the future of the students. That must stop immediately.
Yes.
Delhi is a union territory. Lieutenant Governor has been made responsible for many things. The Lieutenant Government could have a meeting with the Delhi government, like the Chief Minister and the Education Minister, and also the representatives of the MCD. If the need be, the Home Minister could come into picture and they should resolve these issues that quality of education must improve. And to improve quality of education, I think you need to focus on physical facilities and infrastructure, and also you need to focus on the teachers, the adequacy of the teachers and allowing teachers to teach in the class, not engaging them in any other activities, and appointing teachers on the basis of the merit so that students could get good quality education. Yes, I mean, the Delhi government schools may not be a perfect model, but what we have seen is that it is presenting a model which is better than even the good models. So maybe they have not been able to improve the infrastructure and they may not have trained all the teachers in the Delhi government schools, but at least they have done in some cases, if not in the majority of the cases. And I think that should not be mocked at that, okay, they are showcasing only some of those things. I think we need to learn a lesson that, okay, the government must commit a certain percentages of their budgets, make education their priority, should not play with the future. You see, I mean, if we think that all children could be taught in private schools, I think we are mistaken. You see, in a nation where almost 80 crore of people had to be provided free ration to just survive, to just sustain themselves, and another 10-15% are maybe above destitution but below poverty line. In those cases, you can't expect children to go to private school and afford their fees and receive education. So the public system has to play a very, very important role. So all must together, I think this politicking must stop. I don't know the intention of this sting operation or this video that they have done. But I think this is showing us a kind of mirror that the schools are in bad shape. Where our young children are going.
Yes,
They
which is
are
what
not
we are
even
saying,
thought
sir.
of the
Yes.
quality.
That
Yes,
is the whole idea. You know, when we take up a story, an issue like this, our entire idea is only to turn the focus on the real issue. If MCD schools indeed have these kind of conditions, and I will allow the pictures to in fact speak for itself, then somebody must take accountability, take responsibility. Mr. Furqan Qamar, the way you put it, I'm incapable of course, putting it as well as you did. But what I will reiterate is that the blame game, the petty politics is not what we need. We need action. We need the politicians to take their jobs seriously. These two power centers, the Delhi government on one hand and the BJP at the center, is only squabbling. That's the tragedy. Quick last word from the two representatives, two other representatives, Vinit Goenka.
See, I'd like to remind your viewers the observation done by the bench of Justice Vipin Sanghvi and Justice Rekha Palli. They said spending on propaganda through ad expenses, not paying the MCD salaries is a criminal activity. Now, this is observation of the court. Spending 4,200% of the budget on the ad, which was there, does not amount to making the situation of education good here in Delhi. I'll give you some statistics. 1,027 schools are there in Delhi. 698 does not have the science stream. 745 schools don't have principal. If 75% of the schools don't have principal, what do you think about this? 24,000 vacancies are vacant there for teachers. I've given you the cases. In 10th standard itself.
But you heard Mr. Qamar who says give credit where it's due. The Delhi model of education is better than many other models. At least accept that there is a prioritizing that is being done.
If your organization does not pay you salary, how many days will you be able to work? So they spend money on swimming pool of the CM. They spend money on the
you are completely unwilling to give any credit to the Delhi government for improving to a certain extent, which we have seen.
There is observation of the court. We'll have to bring it to the notice of the audience. The two judges have said that. We'll have to talk about
I would say
on a day when MCD schools are exposed to
representative
that's not fair. You have to be reasonable about this. Yes, Mr. Qamar, please.
I was just saying,
if my figures are wrong, let them challenge me in the court. I'm giving a number.
I was just saying to the distinguished
I'll come back to you. Make your point, Mr.
Represented on your show.
Sir, you can shout from the rooftop and you can do that, but kindly ask this question from yourself that is it helping us? Is it helping our very, very young children to receive any better education? Why can't you use your influence to impress upon the Home Minister, the Lieutenant Governor? Let the Home Minister call a meeting of all of them and resolve this issue then and there. The Delhi government gets grants from the center. The Delhi government disburses grants to the MCD. Supposing there are some issues, some grants could go from the center directly to MCD, or the Delhi government could be forced to send the grants. All related issues should be sorted out. Let us not play with the future of these young children, what these people would feel when they grow up, become 18, and they are a voter. What do you say?
And mostly they are from marginalized sections, Mr. Qamar, as you rightly pointed out. These are children who deserve quality education as much as anyone else. Okay, quick last word. I need to close the conversation. Go ahead, Vinit Goenka. Quickly finish your point, and then Akash.
Very simple. They have to answer to the people of Delhi and the country how much money they have taken from the liquor barons. Now, they cannot divert the attention of the people and they cannot come out with these kind of things. Yet, I'm answering your question that why don't they pay 13,000 crore rupees, which is...
No, you should answer Mr. Qamar's question that why can't the central government with all powers vested on it use some of that power to improve the condition of the schools? Forget the app. Think about the children who go to these schools. Why are you only focused on targeting app? Why are you not focused on improving education? I think that is what Mr. Qamar is asking, and that is what we are asking. Why don't you shift your focus from the Aam Aadmi Party to the education of children?
Why can't they pay teachers' fees?
No, you are going back to that. Akashdeep Punik, quickly finish your point. Yes.
Masali, it is really very unfortunate that the administrators.
Yeah, Akash, it is very unfortunate that AAP does not send a representative and proxies ask questions which are not valid. They are not telling me where
this is not a place to ask for.
We can't hear anyone right now. Let's have only Akash.
Why is it humble not paid? I give you
speak a number of times, but education is today's speech.
I'm afraid I'll have to close the conversation with this. I think we got some important perspectives from a former advisor to the Planning Commission of India. I'm glad, Mr. Qamar, you joined the conversation. I'm also grateful to the two other speakers for bringing in their points of view. But we must understand that this is about the children and their future and their education. Let's leave it at that for now. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining us. On the other side, when we come back after a quick break, a Times Network exclusive, cricketer Mohammad Shami comes out in support of Arshdeep Singh, who was viciously trolled for missing a catch in yesterday's crucial India-Pakistan match. Stay tuned.